It seems to come naturally to you to be a sweet person in the show.
That's very nice of you to say. You could call my mom and ask her if I'm naturally sweet.
Do you have her number? Do you want to say it right on there? A lot of animated series, almost all of them, the actors have to do voices. Like, you know.
I actually thought that I would get to do a voice for this, and about halfway through my first recording session, Jonathan stopped me and said, you know, you don't have to do a voice. Okay.
What voice would you do?
For Katie, or?
No, for anyone.
For anyone?
Yeah. Or for Katie, yeah, if you had done a different voice.
Well, Katie was a lot more like this when I first was doing her, because I thought she'd be really sweet and kind of nervous all the time.
Do you like the sound of your own voice when you hear it on a recording?
Has anyone said yes?
No.
No, I think I sound more high-pitched than I want to.
That's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever wish that our sound booth had air conditioning?
No.
And the snacks, how have they been?
Amazing.
Okay, good. Do you ever wish you had a paper script to go over before or during a recording?
Not anymore. I used to.
Well, tell me a little bit about that.
When I first started, it was really difficult because it's not true improv.
No.
Right, because we can hear you prompting us and kind of guiding where we're going. At first, it was just killing my brain because I do sketch comedy and I do improv comedy. So either I'm memorized or I'm making it up. I'm never, with someone in my ear saying, okay, now, say something sweet. Okay, something sweet. I didn't realize at first how far we could go with the improv. Mm-hmm. And then you'll either rein us in or you kind of change the course of where you wanted us to go.
Do you ever wish you knew what was going to happen in the show long term?
I know that in real life people don't know what their futures are, and so in the moment we're only acting on what we want in any given interaction.
And what's just happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So as people, we're only engaging in interactions to get something out of that interaction. But when you study to do a show or you're going to act in a script for a movie, mm-hmm. you know how it turns out, and so there's a huge temptation to kind of couch your character in the way you know the character will be later. As an improviser, I definitely get into those ruts where the audience says, the audience only has a certain amount of suggestions they tend to give us, mm-hmm. and we're constantly looking for new ways to ask questions, to get new answers from the audience that we're reinventing. Well, I get it. She's a stripper. He hasn't paid her yet. We've seen the scene.
If you were in a talent show, mm-hmm. like American Idol, or like Monster Talent, or on the Explosion Bus, mm-hmm. what act would you do?
I would probably sing. I am a singer. I'm not trained, but I do have a history of singing. And
that sounds like a medical history. Are you a show-off on stage?
I think it depends on the show I'm in.
How do you feel when you're being a show-off? This is personal therapy for me.
It depends on the reactions of the people around me.
Yeah.
At work, I tend to be a show-off a lot. I've also been on dates where I do that, where I just talk the whole time and I'm telling jokes and I get out of it and I'm like, I just did a 15-minute set at dinner.
I have a very uncomfortable question to ask you.
Okay.
Would you be willing, in one of our shows, to take off all of your animated clothing?
Okay, and Katie better be hot.